Cold, damp fog rolled across London in October 1837, hiding a tall silhouette perched upon a towering brick wall. Without warning, the figure leaped impossible distances through the dark smog, landing soundlessly behind a terrified pedestrian. This was no ordinary mugger lurking in the shadows, but a creature that would soon paralyze the world's greatest empire with unadulterated primal fear. Victims described a horrifying shape wearing a tight oilskin suit that gleamed under gas lamps like polished beetle armor. Its glowing red eyes pierced the gloom, while blue flames erupted from its grinning mouth. Before anyone could react, the figure vaulted clean over high iron gates in a single bound, vanishing into the damp night air, leaving only ringing laughter behind. Word of the leaping phantom spread through the crowded taverns and slums of Whitechapel like wildfire. Nightfall became a curse as citizens refused to walk alone through unlit passages. Every creak of wood or rustle of wind brought waves of panic. Rumors claimed this creature was not human, but a demon summoned straight from the depths of hell. In early 1838, the Lord Mayor of London received a confidential letter revealing secret attacks across various suburbs. The writer warned that a group of wealthy pranksters had made a wager to terrorize vulnerable citizens. However, as reports mounted, authorities realized no ordinary human could perform such superhuman acrobatics or escape armed constables so effortlessly night after night. 18-year-old Jane also opened her front door on a freezing February night to a man claiming to be a police officer. When she handed him a candle, he threw off his cloak to reveal a terrifying metallic helmet and luminous eyes. The creature spit fiery blue sparks directly into her face before clawing viciously at her heavy winter clothes. Jane's sister rushed to the doorway hearing desperate screams, scaring the monster into the surrounding darkness. The attacker leaped effortless across the wide roadway, ascending a high brick garden wall with impossible grace. Police arrived within minutes, searching every rooftop and alley, but found only mysterious deep footprints embedded in the soft mud beneath the outer wall. Just days later in Limehouse, young Lucy Scales was walking home with her sister when a tall figure ambushed them from a dark corner. The attacker blew bright flames into her eyes, blinding her temporarily before bounding away over the rooftops. Panic reached a fever pitch as newspapers dubbed the shadowy menace Spring-Heeled Jack across front pages. Scotland Yard mobilized dozens of officers to hunt the phantom, setting up traps across the capital. Yet Jack mocked their efforts, appearing simultaneously in distant boroughs miles apart within minutes. Scientists argued that mechanical boots with powerful hidden springs could explain his feats, but engineers insisted such devices were impossible given the metallurgical limits of Victorian technology. Suspicion soon turned toward the eccentric young aristocrat Henry Beresford, the Marquis of Waterford. Known for his wild behavior, destructive drunken wagers, and hatred of authority, Waterford possessed vast wealth and an appetite for cruelty. Many believed he constructed a specialized mechanical suit to torment the poor while hiding behind his elite social status and influence. When Waterford died in a riding accident in 1859, Londoners breathed a sigh of relief, believing the nightmare had finally ended. But their comfort was brief. Sightings of the tall, leaping figure resumed across Middle England, shifting from urban alleyways to military camps and suburban towns, proving the true monster was far from buried in a graveyard. At the Aldershot Army Barracks in 1877, a sentry guarded the armory during a heavy rainstorm. A tall figure stepped out of the darkness. When challenged, the intruder slapped the guard with cold, metallic hands. The soldier fired his rifle at point-blank range, but the bullets produced a hollow, metallic clang before Jack leaped over the sentry box. The military launched an immediate search of the grounds, but the intruder vanished into the surrounding darkness without leaving a trace. Sentry posts across the nation were doubled, yet soldiers reported seeing a dark figure perched atop high roofs, laughing at their warnings. The phantom had transitioned from a local urban terror into an immortal national phenomenon. Cheap penny dreadful novels began publishing sensationalized stories of Spring-Heeled Jack, turning the terrifying attacker into a popular antihero. Children played games pretending to be the Leaping Phantom, while adults double-locked their doors. The boundary between actual historical attacks and Victorian sensational fiction blurred until no one could separate reality from manufactured folk legend. In 1904, over 6 decades after his first recorded appearance, Jack made his final confirmed appearance in the northern city of Liverpool. Witnesses saw a tall figure in a tight dark suit leaping from rooftop to rooftop above William Brown Street. When cornered on a church roof, he jumped clean across a wide avenue before vanishing forever. Modern researchers remain baffled by how one figure could operate across 7 decades without being captured or unmasked. Was Spring-Heeled Jack a succession of copycats using custom gear, a collective psychological delusion born of industrial anxiety, or something far stranger? The physical evidence, including official police reports and doctor records, proves something terrifying stalked those streets. Skeptics point to mass hysteria, arguing that Victorian London's dark, unlit streets and dense industrial smog created the perfect environment for optical illusions. Fear amplifies minor incidents into monstrous encounters. Yet this theory fails to explain how multiple sober witnesses described identical physical features, glowing eyes, and impossible mechanical leaps across vast urban gaps. Others suggest an unknown inventor engineered advanced pneumatic springs and chemical fire-spitting devices decades ahead of his time. If true, this anonymous genius chose to use revolutionary technology not for science or fortune, but to spread terror across Victorian society. Such an explanation paints an even darker picture of human brilliance twisted into pure cruelty. The psychological impact on Victorian society was profound. Jack exposed the vulnerabilities of the world's most powerful empire, showing that police could not protect citizens even in their own doorways. He became the dark mirror of industrial progress, representing the shadowy chaos lurking right beneath the polished surface of Victorian order and technological advancement. Before Jack, urban crime was viewed as mundane theft or drunkenness. But Jack transformed crime into something theatrical and surreal, laying the psychological foundation for modern urban legends and comic book vigilantes. His clawed silhouette and dark cape prefigured pop culture icons, long before Batman or modern superheroes bounded across fictional city skylines. As electric streetlights replaced flickering gas lamps and London modernized, the darkness that nourished the Phantom slowly receded. The shadows that once offered perfect concealment were swept away by bright urban planning. Yet in the quiet corners of old English towns, elders continued to warn children not to wander alone after dark, lest Jack return. Even today, tour guides in London lead brave visitors down narrow alleys where Spring-Heeled Jack allegedly struck. Walking these ancient cobblestones under a cold drizzle, one can easily imagine the terrifying sudden sound of boots scraping against brick, and a chilling, metallic laughter echoing through the damp mist behind you. Was he a man, a myth, or an impossible machine? The true identity of Spring-Heeled Jack remains locked away in forgotten police archives and dusty soil. He vanished without leaving a deathbed confession, an unmasked corpse, or a single confirmed name, leaving behind only decades of terror and an immortal spot in British folklore. The story of the Leaping Demon reminds us that the greatest terrors are often those that defy explanation. When technology outpaces understanding and dark alleys remain unlit, the monsters of human imagination take physical form. Jack was the ultimate phantom of an era caught between ancient superstition and the rising dawn of modern science. Long after the Victorian age faded into history books, the legend of the Leaping Terror endures in the quiet shadows of our collective memory. Next time you walk down a foggy night street and hear a strange movement high above on the rooftops, don't look back. Just keep walking before the Phantom leaps again.